Today's video is all about Wonder Kids. We've signed a bunch of them, and you're going to see a bunch of different ones play for us too. Wonder Kids. Hello and welcome to part 184 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have an FA Cup 4th round tie away against Portsmouth. That's where the Wonder Kids are going to be playing. And then in the main event of the episode we have the first knockout round, first leg Champions League thing away against Schalke, where we get to have a look at this goalkeeper that we were talking about yesterday. We haven't got any money to sign him though, because as you can see we're still in debt and we've spent all our transfer pennies. We've spent it on Wonder Kids. Starting from the one you knew about, Lamine Dramé, who is in but can't play for us for the rest of the season because apparently he played a game for Monaco as well before he left. I don't see where he played that game, but apparently he's played for Monaco and West Brom this season, so can't play for us. I did try and loan him back to West Brom before the deadline. They weren't having any of it, so Dramé is in for £32 million. He will become homegrown because he's only 18. He can't play for us this season though, so that's the last you'll see of him for a while. We also brought in another attacking midfielder, another French one in fact, Maxence Gabory, who we'd had that arranged for a little while. He's been playing for Marseille reserves. He'll be in and around the place. You might see him again, you might not. But there was two that we were particularly keen on getting. Where is the other one? Oh, he's not coming yet. Oh, Arsene Diaby, we are getting him, but he doesn't come in until next January. I was confused then, because I knew we'd got the two that we were really trying to get. You can meet Diaby when he arrives, but Jordi Joksimovic was being chased by all of the big teams in Europe, and we got him for £3.1 million. Comes in from Partizan. He is our new backup right back with 5-star potential. How long until this guy goes past Meyer as our starting right back? He looks like he's going to be a little bit special, and he can play as a wing back naturally, which obviously is exactly what we want. We've got another Saidi, because Saidi the goalkeeper might be leaving. We've brought in another Saidi for after he goes. He'll be sat in the reserves. And then we signed the 3 hottest prospects in English football. English football is struggling, I think, even though we've just won the World Cup. But Kevin Crawford is an England under-19 international centre-back with 3.5-star potential that we've brought in from Leeds. Will Dearnley, he was the hottest prospect in English football, 16-year-old under-19 international, who is a left winger who we've brought in from Brighton. And Luke Keane is an under-19 international goalkeeper, 3.5-star potential ability. He comes in from Fulham. Talking of English goalkeepers, by the way, you may be familiar with the fact that we've got one. Where is he? Because I've picked this silly team, I can't even find him. Powell. Home always has a Powell, we know this. There he is, James Powell. Remember how we've been struggling to find a real top quality goalkeeper? Well, in addition to winning the World Cup Best Goalkeeper, James Powell has now won World Goalkeeper of the Year and been named in the World Team of the Year for 2038. James Powell is the best goalkeeper in the world. He's just apparently the best goalkeeper in the world is only a 3.5-star player. 20 years in the future, goalkeepers are a dying breed, it seems, but we do already have the best one there is. So Saidi immediately goes up in my estimations a little bit as well, because for 3 years Saidi's been nearly as good as the best goalkeeper in the world. That would explain how he's managed to pick up 10 caps for France despite not really playing regularly for 3 years. But yeah, Saidi, perhaps not as bad as we all think. He's probably like the 3rd best goalkeeper in the world. But Powell is the best goalkeeper in the world. It's mad, isn't it? Right. I promised you'd see some Wonder Kids play, and that's what you will see against Portsmouth. So we've mixed a few of them in. Joksimovic, the new right back, he's already actually played for us. He played for us in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. But I want to get plenty of game time into him, so you're going to see him make his debut as part of this team. The rest of the team is Saidi in goal, a back four of Aleph Essa, who is... we signed him, when did we sign him? A few years back. This is kind of a bit of a make or break match for him to see if he's ever going to be any good. But Stefan Essa, alongside Juranovic and Joksimovic at the back, Yaman and Marshall in midfield. Diarra, who I've been going on about for ages. We decided not to sign Djuric in the end. He's gone to play in China. We pulled out of the Djuric deal to basically allow Diarra to play in games like this and really push on and develop. So Diarra, Mendes and Flager as our attacking midfield three, and then Mercier up front. Look, he needs goals. Mercier, this is his one season of opportunity that he's getting for us. He's had a couple of years out on loan in La Liga. He's scored goals there. He's supposedly valued at over £40 million, but he's just not scoring goals for us, and he is getting opportunities to play. This is probably maybe his 10th game of the season now, and I think he's only got one goal, and it's not as if he's playing in the big matches. He's playing in games like this. He's playing in the League Cup, he's playing in the FA Cup, he's playing in the Champions League after we've already qualified from our group, and he's just not really proving to be very effective. So I think looking forward to the summer, if we can get 40 or 50 million pounds for Mercier, with Blish there ready to push through behind him and be... I mean, I'd be happy to have Blish on the bench next year. I think I'd be happy to let Mercier go for 40 or 50 million pound, make room for Blish, and we just get another youngster in the first team squad. There's Diarra, though, with his first ever goal for home. 5 minutes into the tie, and Diarra immediately showing why we've decided to withdraw an offer for a player who we know is good for us. Juric, remember, it's not like he was a nobody. He was great for us last season, and I was excited at the prospect of being able to bring him in permanently for free, but I'm even more excited about Diarra, and there you go. He's repaying some of my excitement with an early goal in this time. Mendes wins the ball back in midfield. Ever since the Drame deal has been agreed, by the way, Mendes is getting better and better as well, to the point where we probably don't actually need Drame because we've got Costa, we've got Mendes. Did we need to spend £32 million on another French attacking midfield player? We did anyway. There's Joksimovic playing it out to Diarra, who finds Aleph. Aleph, by the way, star rating wise, is now only half a star behind Candemil. I think at some point in the next year we see Aleph become our first choice left back. And Diarra's got his second goal of the game. It is on a plate for him from Flager. 7 minutes on the clock, and Flager probably could have taken this on and scored it himself, but has just given it to the kid and given him the opportunity for an easy peasy tap in. Just plays it across, never any doubt. Diarra scores again, 2-0 to home. I don't actually know what division Portsmouth are in. We probably could have rotated even more, looking at how easy it seems to be to just carve through them at the moment, even with this sort of... It's not a completely reserved team. We've got players in the team who have played for the first team a lot this season, like Flager, like Saidi, like Juranovic at the back, Aleph, Yamin, Mendes. These are all players who've played quite a lot of first team games. Who I guess it's not going to do them any harm playing in a game like this, but maybe we could have gone a team down, and like Marshall perhaps doesn't need to be in there. We could have played one of the youngsters that we've got who can play in central midfield. But I thought we'd better give Marshall a game here and there. Mercier has just got an absolute screamer. It's his third goal of the season, and it is an excellent goal. Perhaps he was overhearing me telling him he had to take his opportunity sooner or later, and that was a nice goal. And remember, Mercier does have that special place in all of our hearts because he is the man who came on for Sir Mick Powell in Sir Mick Powell's final game for the club. 85 minutes on the clock, the passing of the torch. It was a young 18-year-old Clement Mercier who came on for Powell and got the endorsement from him. So it would be nice to see Sir Mick Powell Jr. develop into a first team regular for us, and that goal is certainly a nice way to start moving in that direction. Right, although Diarra is on a hat-trick, we do need to take him off at half-time. He wasn't really fully fit to play this game in the first place. I just wanted to get him involved because I wanted to give him the opportunity to be involved. What we're going to do is, we've already talked about Blish. We're going to get Blish on, stick Mercier out on the left-hand side. Marshall can come off for... Is Ruiz a midfielder or a striker? Oh, he is a midfielder. David Ruiz, he's a 4.5-star player. We probably need to... It's time he got his debut. This is what I'm talking about. We've got so many youngsters now. I don't even remember who they all are. Sumahoro is another central midfielder. Yikes. Right, Ruiz, what does he want to be? Let him be the playmaker. Yamin can do his running for him. We're going to make Mercier an inside forward for not an attack. Inside forward on support. Double change at half time. What will they think of next? And hopefully Blish can pick up where he left off towards the end of last season. He's not really had, with Mercier returning to the club from his loan, Blish hasn't really had a look in this year, but he did play. He got a couple of Premier League goals last season, Blish. Joksimovic is shattered. We need to take him off as well. Do we have a right back on the bench? I think Stoyan, who is a centre-back who's on the bench, can play right back as well. Saidi just doing Saidi things. My word. Oh, it was disallowed. Excellent stuff. Saidi is on the transfer list, but nobody's come in with an offer for him. Let's get Stoyan on as well, who I think you've seen Stoyan play before. 18-year-old Romanian centre-back. Came in the summer. I've certainly seen him play a couple of times. He's another one who's been playing in the League Cup. Has played a Premier League game as well. So he's had a few opportunities already, and he'll have fewer opportunities now we've got a proper backup right back in Joksimovic. We didn't have a backup right back before, so Stoyan was kind of taking on that role when John Goff didn't fancy playing back there. But now, obviously, with Joksimovic being in, he's the man who's going to be our backup right back forevermore. And plus, Joksimovic is a good name for a fullback in a LOLLUJO Football Manager team. It's a name with history for those of you who've been around for a while. Yamin makes it 4-0 in the 82nd minute. It was a bit of a mess here. I don't really know. Portsmouth aren't going to be happy with what's going on here. It's Essa with the flick on. It ends up with Blish, who it kind of bundles off of. Drops to Yamin, and Yamin's just signed a new £200,000 a week contract to play for us for the next 5 years. So a lot of faith being shown in Yamin. Firstly, when we sold Alves in the summer, and now throwing all this money at him. He had a long-term injury last year, but he is now very much a part of our team again. And rewarding my faith. That was a £200,000 goal if ever I saw one. Flager now trying to get the crossover. Ends up with Ruiz. It's Stoyan on the overlap. Falls to Flager. Flager scores, and it's 5-0. And that has been easy peasy. And another wonderful, bright sign for the future at home. That's a sixth goal of the season for Flager. Now, bearing in mind, Flager spent a couple of months of this season injured, and the rest of the time has been a backup player to Goff. That shows you just how good Flager is. The fact he's still managed to pick up 6 goals along the way. Because he's probably only played about 6 or 7 games. Flager is awesome. We have got some very good players here at home now. If we don't win the Champions League this season or next season, then I'm probably not a very good manager. It's more proof that I should be doing Football Director of Football 2019, not Football Manager. I can sign the players. I'm good at that side of things, as long as you don't mind me overspending. But they do occasionally underachieve on the pitch. Right, that was an excellent victory. Let's take that form, albeit with completely different players, into this first leg against Schalke. Here we go then, time for the Champions League, and this is the strongest team we've been able to put out since before the last episode. Lee has been away on international duty forever. This is the first time he's been available. They didn't win the Asian Nations Cup. I don't know what implications that potentially has for national service for Lee. He still hasn't been called up for it. He is still only 25 though, so need to keep a little bit of an eye on that potentially, but he is back in the team for the first time in ages. And of course we have the best goalkeeper in the world coming back into the team as well. So for Schalke, we've got Powell in goal, a back four of Kandemil, Beron, Lee and Meyer, Zupancic and Cristiano in midfield, Cirilio, Costa and Goff behind Mira up front. And look at the state of that bench. That is a top quality bench that we're able to put together now of largely world class players or real top level wonder kids. That's the kind of bench I want, and this is the guy we're keeping an eye on in this game, the goalkeeper Pedro. He is a 21-year-old, highest potential, according to our scouts, the highest potential goalkeeper currently available in the world. So if we do decide we want a better option than Powell, we've got him available as a potential guy to go after, but I think he's going to cost us about £120 million. So it would be a record signing, costing us even more than Goff did. And he looks like Saidi, because that was a Saidi move there. The ball just went past him, came back off the post. He didn't really know what was going on. If he's no better than what we've already got, we'll just stick with Powell. We can go through the entire series always having a Powell in the team, knowing that he is the best goalkeeper in the world. He's closing in on 100 caps for England now. He's got a World Cup winner. He's won the World Goalkeeper of the Year. He's been in the Team of the Year, Goalkeeper of the World Cup. I mean, what more could we really want? Am I that desperate just to bump up a star rating a little bit? I think Powell has probably got everything that we need a goalkeeper to have to convince me to stop going looking for a better one. Cirillo plays it over to Goff. Goff, charging through the defence, runs straight into about the third player he gets to, though, and it's Costa trying to rebuild things again from the midfield. It's actually Beron with the ball over the top. Mira's there, plays it back to Cirillo. That's a lovely goal, and very importantly, it's an away goal as well. There's been a couple of people in the comments who still aren't sold on Cirillo. I don't know if he's just performing largely off camera. As you can see, that's his 8th goal of the season now. But having an inside forward on that side, a natural inside forward like he is awesome for situations like that and works really well with Mira. Because Mira, unlike Thor, who will stay central and just score goals, Mira does like to just sort of float around all over the place up there. And as you saw, drifted into a wide area there. And having Cirillo there to just drift in and provide an option for him, the two of them basically become interchangeable. And Cirillo, he does offer a lot. He offers something very different to what we've already got. And I certainly wouldn't swap him for Juric at this point. And I wouldn't have in the summer either, when they were both roughly the same price. And I chose this one, and I still stand by my choice. We've not dominated this game the way we normally dominate football matches. But then, as we saw last year when we came up against Schalke in the Champions League, they are one of the best teams in Germany. They won the Bundesliga last year. They are a very good side. It seems a little bit harsh for us as English champions to face the German champions in the first knockout round. It's like a massive dream match early on. So I guess we don't really need to dominate the game. We just need to beat them, and getting an away goal is a very useful step towards trying to achieve that. They have their first proper attack of the game. In fact, that's gone down as a clear-cut chance. So we're mugging them at the moment because they've had a clear-cut chance. We haven't. They've had another one there, but the best goalkeeper in the world makes the save. But it is another corner for Schalke, and this is quite an extended period of pressure for them now. This has been the most impressive either team has been at any point in this game so far. But Kandemil gets the tackle in. Zupancic clears towards Mira. We've got a corner now, and as soon as this corner is done, we're making another change. Mira hits the crossbar. I think it was definitely the frame of the goal. It was a lovely header, but unfortunately not quite into the back of the net. Costa is struggling. We've got Thor, who could potentially come on and play up front alongside Mira. It's a shame I've not got Mendes sat on that bench. I think what I'm actually going to do is bring on Yamin for Costa and actually drop back to this and play Cristiano there, which he's done a few times, and just settle things down a little bit. Flager can come on for Goff, who's not having a very good game. But games like this, big matches, big knockout games, we're 1-0 up away from home against a very good side. Let's drop to a more defensive system. Let's try and be a little bit sensible on this run in the Champions League. Cristiano, he's not enjoying it though, is he? He's not having a very nice time. I'm going to take Mira off as our final change of the game, bring Thor on, and hopefully, if he can grab a second, that would be absolutely lovely. Mira's had a better game than that 6.9 suggests. But, I mean, he made the goal for Cirillo, hit the post himself, somehow doesn't get above a 7, which I guess he can play a lot better. Any other striker in the world, that's a 9 out of 10 performance. But there is Thor doing Thor things. Too many THs, Kev. A 15th goal of the season now for Thor, and it's two of the substitutes combining. Kandemil plays it out to Flager, who, again, showing just how good he is, gets in behind the defenders, and that's what you pay £40 million for a 6'5" striker for, because he's going to do things like that, put us 2-0 up with a header, and we are in a very strong position now going into this second leg that will be coming up on tomorrow's episode. That was an interesting throw-in attempt from Schalke there, and I think that is that. We have won the match quite comfortably, a dominant 2-0 win. Very happy with that. It's as usual with these first knockout rounds, there's a little bit of a wait now for the second leg, but it'll be coming up in tomorrow's video. But we have got a little bit of a wait until we hit that point. So tomorrow we'll have Schalke and Leicester, and hopefully book a spot in, is it the quarterfinals yet? I never know. I mean, it's basically my catchphrase, asking that at this stage of the tournament. If you've enjoyed that video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.